Welcome back to Venture Vibes. In today's episode, we're diving deep into a growing trend in 2025, why more Americans are moving to Malaysia. This isn't just a few retirees looking for tropical sunshine. It's a shift in how people are choosing to live, retire, work, and thrive. The reasons behind this movement are rooted in affordability, lifestyle quality, long-stay visa options, and the personal stories of Americans who've already made the leap. Living in Malaysia is significantly cheaper than in the United States. On average, the cost of living is about 50% to 60% lower. A furnished one-bedroom apartment in a good neighborhood in Kuala Lumpur or Penang can cost anywhere from $350 to $450 per month. Dining out is also affordable. A full meal at a local restaurant might cost less than $3. Even in more urban areas, day-to-day expenses are manageable. Utilities, transportation, internet, all of these combined often cost less than just the rent alone in many parts of the US. For example, someone who's spending over $3,000 per month in New York or Los Angeles could cut that budget in half and live in Malaysia with a higher standard of comfort. Malaysia's long-stay visa programs are a big reason Americans are able to stay for years, not just months. The Malaysia My Second Home program, known as MM2H, is designed for foreigners who want to reside in the country long-term. It allows qualifying individuals to live in Malaysia for 5 to 20 years, depending on the financial category they apply under. Recent changes have made the program more structured, with financial proof required, but many Americans still qualify and find it worth the process. There's also the Premium Visa program, introduced more recently, offering 20-year residency with fewer restrictions on time spent in the country, although it is aimed at wealthier individuals. Another big draw is the healthcare system. Malaysia has one of the best healthcare infrastructures in Asia. English is widely spoken in hospitals, and many doctors are trained in the UK, US, or Australia. Private hospitals in cities like Kuala Lumpur and Penang provide high-quality care at a fraction of US prices. Many Americans living here pay out of pocket without insurance simply because it's so affordable. A specialist visit might cost $30 to $50. A surgical procedure that could cost tens of thousands of dollars in the US might be handled here for a quarter of the price. Safety and stability are also top reasons. Malaysia is politically stable and ranks higher on the Global Peace Index than many Southeast Asian nations. Violent crime rates are low. Most expats report feeling very safe walking at night or taking public transportation. The multicultural society, comprised of Malay, Chinese, Indian, and indigenous communities, makes it easy to integrate without standing out too much. And since English is a second language taught in schools and used widely in business, many Americans feel at ease. Then there's the lifestyle. Malaysia offers a blend of modern cities and natural beauty. Kuala Lumpur gives you high-rise living, shopping malls, restaurants, nightlife, and fast Wi-Fi, everything a digital nomad or professional needs. Meanwhile, places like Penang and Langkawi offer beaches, hiking, and a slower pace of life. You can live by the sea, wake up to palm trees, and eat fresh tropical fruit daily without giving up access to modern conveniences. But it's not just the facts and figures that are convincing Americans, it's the stories. Take Paul and Ellen Eggers, a couple from California who sold everything and moved to Penang. They now rent a luxury condo overlooking the sea and spend around $2,800 to $3,000 a month, less than half of what they spent back in the US. They've embraced a minimalist lifestyle, joined the local mahjong club, and enjoy the strong expat community in Penang. They said they no longer feel the stress they did in America and they found peace in simplicity. Another story comes from Jill Tozer, originally from New Zealand but now living in Malaysia. At just 58, she was able to retire early thanks to the affordability and security offered by the MM2H program. She lives in a 3-bedroom, sea-view apartment in Penang for only $450 a month and manages all her living expenses, including food, travel, and entertainment, for under 4,000 ringgit, which is about $850. She describes life there as liberating. She no longer has to work full-time and spends her days writing, volunteering, and enjoying the beach. Then there's Andrew Taylor, a former corporate worker from New York. He made the decision to relocate to Kuala Lumpur after working remotely during the pandemic. Now living in a spacious 2-bedroom apartment for just $620 a month, he says Malaysia gave him the chance to leave the rat race. He no longer worries about working into his 80s to survive financially. Instead, he focuses on building a business online while enjoying a higher quality of life. Another big factor is regional accessibility. Living in Malaysia puts you within a few hours' flight of Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Singapore. Budget airlines offer cheap flights that let expats explore the rest of Southeast Asia easily. This makes Malaysia a great base not just for living but for adventuring. Many Americans now use Kuala Lumpur as a home hub while traveling frequently to nearby countries. The internet infrastructure in Malaysia is also strong. With affordable high-speed fiber internet available even in small towns, it's become a hotspot for remote workers and digital nomads. Shared co-working spaces are booming, especially in Kuala Lumpur and Penang. The government is also encouraging tech entrepreneurs through its Malaysia Digital Economy Blueprint, which is helping transform the country into a digital hub in Southeast Asia. Of course, relocating abroad requires preparation. Americans moving to Malaysia have to consider taxes, insurance, and visa options carefully. While Malaysia has no double taxation treaty with the US, you can often exclude a large portion of your foreign earned income through IRS Form 2555. Many Americans work with cross-border tax advisors to manage this. You'll also need private health insurance or enough savings to cover major procedures out of pocket. Despite these logistical concerns, Americans continue arriving. Some are retirees looking for peace and security. Others are young professionals who are burned out and looking for meaning. And some are families who want a different kind of childhood for their kids. In Malaysia, they're finding a country that is peaceful, welcoming, affordable, and full of opportunity. As we wrap up this episode, remember this: Malaysia isn't just a place people visit. It's becoming a place people stay. Whether it's the economic freedom, healthcare, sense of community, or a fresh start, more and more Americans are planting new roots here in 2025. If you're one of them, or thinking about it, Malaysia might just be the answer you didn't know you were looking for. Thanks for joining us on this journey. This is Venture Vibes. See you in the next one.